The whole school was watching when it happened. Emily, the new student from Kenya, grabbed Hyun-Woo Park and kissed him without warning. It was bold, reckless, and completely unplanned. Little did they know, that moment would start a love story that crossed cultures, defied expectations, and changed everything. Before we dive into this incredible love story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, and if you've ever had a moment that changed your life in an instant, let us know below. The cafeteria doors swung open and Emily walked in, her heart pounding so hard she thought everyone could hear it. This was her third day at Hansung Elite Academy, and she still felt like an alien who crash-landed on the wrong planet. Students in their crisp uniforms turned to stare at her dark skin and thick, curly hair pulled into a high puff. She heard the whispers, saw the pointed fingers, felt the weight of being different in a place where everyone looked the same. She clutched her lunch tray tighter and scanned the massive room for an empty table. The cafeteria was nothing like her old school in Nairobi. Everything here screamed money. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, the floors were polished marble, and the lunch options included sushi, Korean barbecue, and French pastries. Back home, she ate ugali and sukuma wiki in a courtyard under a tree. Emily spotted her cousin Aisha sitting with some international students near the back. Relief flooded through her. At least she had one friendly face in this cold place. She started walking, trying to ignore the stares. Well, look what we have here. The voice was sweet like honey, but sharp like a knife. Emily stopped walking. A girl with perfect makeup, designer uniform, and hair that looked like it was styled by professionals stepped into her path. 3 other girls flanked her like soldiers. "I'm Sumin," the girl said, looking Emily up and down with disgust. "And I don't remember anyone inviting charity cases to our school." The cafeteria got quieter. Students turned to watch. Emily's face burned, but she kept her chin up. Her mother always told her that bullies feed on fear. "Excuse me, I need to get past," Emily said, proud that her voice didn't shake. Sumin laughed, and her friends laughed too. "Did you hear that accent? She sounds like she learned Korean from a broken computer." More laughter. Emily's hands trembled. She wanted to run, to hide, to disappear. But something inside her refused to give these mean girls the satisfaction. "My Korean is fine," Emily said firmly. "Maybe you should worry less about how I sound and more about how you act." Sumin's smile vanished. Her eyes turned cold. "You have no idea who you're talking to. My mother is Korea's top actress. My family owns half of Seoul. You're nobody. A mistake. Someone who doesn't belong here." One of Sumin's friends grabbed Emily's tray and tilted it. Food spilled down Emily's uniform, hot soup soaking through the white fabric. The cafeteria erupted in gasps and laughter. Tears burned behind Emily's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "Oops," the girl said with a fake, innocent smile. "So clumsy." "That's enough." The voice cut through the noise like thunder. Everyone froze. The laughter died instantly. Emily looked up and her breath caught in her throat. A boy stood a few feet away, tall and impossibly handsome, with dark hair that fell perfectly across his forehead and eyes that seemed to see everything. His uniform was pristine, his posture relaxed but powerful. Everyone was staring at him with a mixture of awe and fear. "Hyun-Woo," Sumin breathed, her whole face transforming into a bright smile. "I was just welcoming the new student." "By humiliating her?" His voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. "That's not a welcome. That's cruelty." Sumin's smile flickered. "She disrespected me first. She stood up for herself. There's a difference." Hyun-Woo's eyes moved to Emily, and something passed between them. Recognition, maybe, or understanding. "Are you okay?" Emily couldn't speak. Her mind raced. This was clearly someone important, someone powerful. The whole school seemed to hold its breath, waiting for what would happen next. Sumin stepped closer to Hyun-Woo, touching his arm possessively. "Baby, you don't understand. These foreign students need to learn their place. We have standards here." "Don't call me that. We broke up 6 months ago." "We're just taking a break," Sumin insisted, her voice getting desperate. "You said you needed space after what happened. I've given you space. I've changed. We belong together." Hyun-Woo pulled his arm away. "We're done, Sumin. I told you that." Something snapped inside Emily. Maybe it was anger at being humiliated. Maybe it was frustration at being treated like she was invisible. Maybe it was the way this boy defended her when no one else would. She didn't think, didn't plan, she just moved. Emily stepped forward, grabbed Hyun-Woo's tie, pulled him down, and pressed her lips against his. The cafeteria exploded. Students jumped up from their seats. Someone screamed. Phones appeared, cameras flashing, but Emily didn't care. She kissed him hard, pouring all her anger and defiance into that moment. Hyun-Woo went rigid with shock, then something shifted. His hand came up to her waist, steadying her, and for 3 heartbeats he kissed her back. His lips were soft and warm, and suddenly Emily's anger melted into something else entirely. Something that made her stomach flip and her skin tingle. She pulled away, breathing hard. Their faces were inches apart. His eyes were wide with surprise, but also something darker, something hungry. "Sorry," Emily whispered, loud enough for only him to hear. "I needed them to stop." Then she turned and walked out of the cafeteria with as much dignity as she could manage, leaving Hyun-Woo standing there touching his lips like he couldn't believe what just happened. Behind her, Soo-min's scream of rage echoed through the room. Emily barely made it to the bathroom before her legs gave out. She locked herself in a stall and slid down the wall, her whole body shaking. What had she done? She kissed a complete stranger in front of hundreds of people. She grabbed the most popular boy in school and kissed him like her life depended on it. Her phone buzzed, then buzzed again and again. By the time she pulled it out, she had 57 messages. The kiss was already viral. Videos from different angles flooded the school's social media. Screenshots of Hyun-Woo's shocked face, of Soo-min's fury, of Emily walking away like a queen. A knock on the stall door made her jump. "Emily, it's me, Aisha." Emily opened the door. Her cousin stood there holding a clean uniform and a worried expression. "Girl, what were you thinking?" Aisha asked, but she was smiling. "Do you know who that was?" "Someone important?" "Important. Hyun-Woo Park is the school president, top of every class, and his family owns the 3rd largest company in Korea. Every girl here wants him, and you just kissed him in front of everyone, especially his psycho ex-girlfriend." Emily groaned. "I didn't know. I just wanted Soo-min to stop." Well, she definitely stopped. Aisha handed her the clean uniform. "But now you have a bigger problem. Soo-min will make your life miserable. She's been trying to get Hyun-Woo back ever since she cheated on him with some college guy. She thought she could do better, but realized too late that no one is better than him." "That's her problem, not mine." "It becomes your problem when her older brother Chol gets involved. He's dangerous, Emily. Connected to some scary people. He does whatever his sister asks." Emily changed into the clean uniform, trying to process everything. Her hand still trembled from the kiss. She could still feel the warmth of Hyun-Woo's lips, the strength in his hand when he steadied her waist. "I can't believe I did that," Emily muttered. "Everyone else can't believe it either. You're either the bravest person in this school or the craziest. Maybe both." They left the bathroom together. The hallways were packed with students changing classes, but everyone stopped to stare at Emily. Some looked impressed, others looked shocked, many looked jealous. Emily kept her head high and walked like she owned the place, even though inside she wanted to disappear. "Emily," that voice again. Deep and calm and somehow familiar, even though she just met him. She turned, and there was Hyun-Woo, standing by the lockers, his friend beside him. The friend was shorter, with a friendly face and curious eyes. "Can we talk?" Hyun-Woo asked. Aisha squeezed Emily's hand. "I'll wait for you in class." Emily walked over, her heart racing. Up close, Hyun-Woo was even more handsome. Sharp jawline, perfect skin, eyes that seemed to look straight into her soul. "This is my best friend Kenji," Hyun-Woo said. Kenji waved enthusiastically. "That was the most epic thing I've ever seen," Kenji blurted out. Soo-min looked like her head was going to explode. "Kenji," Hyun-Woo said in a warning tone. Right, I'll just go, over there, far away." Kenji backed up but gave Emily a thumbs up before disappearing around the corner. Silence stretched between them. Students walking past slowed down, trying to hear their conversation. "I'm sorry," Emily said finally. "I shouldn't have kissed you without permission. That was wrong." "Why did you do it?" "I don't know. I was angry, humiliated, and then you defended me when no one else would, and Soo-min was being so possessive, and I just wanted to make a statement that I'm not some weak person they can push around." Hyun-Woo studied her for a long moment. "You're not weak. That much is clear. Are you mad? No?" His lips curved into a small smile. "Surprised, yes. Mad, no. Actually, I'm impressed." Emily blinked. "Impressed?" "No one has ever been that bold with me before. People treat me like I'm made of glass because of my family name. They're careful, calculated, always trying to gain something. But you just acted on impulse. Stupid impulse. Brave impulse." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Listen, Soo-min won't let this go. She's going to make things difficult for you. I know her. She's vengeful, and she has resources. I can handle it. I'm sure you can, but you don't have to handle it alone. Hyun-Woo paused, like he was deciding something important. What if we dated? Emily's eyes widened. What? Not for real. Just pretend. If everyone thinks we're together, Soo-min will back off. She won't risk her reputation by bullying my girlfriend, and you'll be protected from the other students too. No one will mess with you. That's a crazy plan. Is it crazier than kissing a stranger in front of the whole school? Emily couldn't help but laugh. He had a point. What do you get out of this? She asked suspiciously. Hyun-Woo's expression turned serious. Freedom. My mother has been pressuring me to date the daughter of her business partner, someone she chose, someone who fits her perfect vision of my future. If I'm already dating someone, she can't force me into that arrangement. So we both benefit. Exactly. We fake date for a few months, long enough for things to settle down, then we quietly break up and go our separate ways. Simple. Emily bit her lip, thinking it was risky. If people found out they were faking, it would be even worse. But Aisha's warning about Chol echoed in her mind. Maybe having protection wasn't such a bad idea. Okay, she said, but we need rules, no real feelings, no crossing boundaries, just an act. Agreed. Hyun-Woo held out his hand. Partners? Emily shook it, ignoring the spark that shot up her arm at his touch. Partners. That evening, Emily sat at dinner with her parents in their new apartment. Her father, a tall man with graying hair, worked for an international technology company. Her mother, warm and gentle, taught literature at a local university. How was school, sweetie? Her mother asked in Swahili. Interesting, Emily replied, pushing rice around her plate. She had told them about the bullying, but not about the kiss. That would require explanation she wasn't ready to give. Her father frowned. Are those girls still bothering you? It's handled. Emily, he said in his serious voice. I moved us halfway across the world for this job opportunity, but your safety and happiness matter more. If this school isn't working out, we'll find another one. No, Dad, really. It's fine now. I made a friend, sort of. Her mother's eyes lit up. A friend? Tell us about them. His name is Hyun-Woo. He's nice, smart. He stood up for me today. Her parents exchanged glances. Her father's expression turned cautious. Just be careful, he said. Focus on your studies. Boys can be a distraction. But her mother smiled knowingly, like she remembered what it was like to be young and confused about feelings. That night, Emily lay in bed staring at her ceiling, replaying the kiss over and over. The way Hyun-Woo's hand felt on her waist, the softness of his lips, the heat that spread through her body. This was supposed to be fake, a business arrangement. So why couldn't she stop thinking about him? Her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. It's Hyun-Woo. Kenji got your number from the student directory. We should coordinate our story. Meet me tomorrow morning at the library before classes start. We need to make this look real. Emily stared at the message. Tomorrow, this whole fake relationship would begin. She would have to hold his hand, smile at him, pretend to be in love. The thought made her nervous and excited at the same time. She typed back a simple, okay, and tried to sleep, but her dreams were filled with dark eyes and unexpected kisses. The next morning, Emily arrived at the library early. The massive room smelled like old books and polish. Tall windows let in streams of golden sunlight. She found Hyun-Woo sitting at a private table in the back, 2 coffee cups waiting. You came, he said, looking relieved. I said I would. He pushed 1 coffee toward her. I didn't know what you liked, so I got it plain. There's sugar and cream. The small gesture touched her. Emily doctored her coffee and sat down. Hyun-Woo pulled out a notebook. I made a list of things we should know about each other, he said. If we're dating, people will ask questions. We need our stories to match. For the next hour, they traded information. Favorite foods, music preferences, hobbies, embarrassing moments. Emily learned that Hyun-Woo loved classical piano but secretly enjoyed hip-hop. That he had a younger sister who drove him crazy. That his father wanted him to take over the family company, but he dreamed of studying architecture. She told him about growing up in Nairobi, about weekend trips to the coast, about her love for mystery novels and terrible singing voice. They laughed over shared interests and debated their differences. This is weird, Emily said suddenly. What is? Talking to you feels easy, natural, like we've known each other longer than one day. Hyun-Woo met her eyes. I know what you mean. The library door banged open. Sumin stormed in with her friends, scanning the room. Her eyes landed on Hyun-Woo and Emily sitting together, and her face twisted with rage. "Time to make this official," Hyun-Woo murmured. Then louder, he said, "So it's a date then? Dinner on Saturday?" Emily caught on immediately. "I'd love that." He reached across the table and took her hand, intertwining their fingers. His hand was warm and strong, and Emily's heart skipped several beats. This was just acting, she reminded herself. Just pretend. But the electricity crackling between them felt dangerously real. This story is getting more intense with every minute. Are you feeling the chemistry between Hyun-Woo and Emily? Let us know in the comments if you think they should risk everything for real love. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell because the drama is about to reach a whole new level. Sumin marched across the library, her expensive heels clicking against the marble floor like a countdown to disaster. Her friends followed like an army ready for battle. Students who were studying looked up, sensing drama about to unfold. "How cute," Sumin said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. The charity case finally found someone desperate enough to pity her. Hyun-Woo didn't let go of Emily's hand. Instead, he held it tighter. "Emily isn't a charity case. She's my girlfriend, and you need to show her respect." The word girlfriend echoed through the quiet library. Students gasped. Phones appeared, already recording. Emily forced herself to stay calm, even though her pulse was racing. Sumin's perfect makeup couldn't hide the fury in her eyes. "Your girlfriend? You've known her for one day. One day, Hyun-Woo. This is ridiculous. She probably threw herself at you because she wants your money." "That's enough." Hyun-Woo stood up, still holding Emily's hand. "My personal life is none of your business anymore. You made your choice when you cheated on me. Now leave us alone." "I made a mistake. One mistake, and I've apologized 1,000 times. Sumin's voice cracked, real emotion breaking through her anger. "We were perfect together. Everyone said so. Our families are connected. We have the same world, the same culture. She's an outsider who will never understand our life." Emily had heard enough. She stood up too, meeting Sumin's glare without flinching. "You're right about one thing," Emily said calmly. "I don't understand your world. I don't understand why someone would cheat on a good person. I don't understand why someone would bully others to feel powerful. And I definitely don't understand why you think you can control who other people care about." Sumin's face turned red. "You think you've won something? You think holding his hand makes you special? I'll destroy you. I'll make sure everyone knows you're nothing but a gold digger who kissed him for attention." "Let them think what they want," Emily shot back. "The truth doesn't need defending." Hyun-Woo tugged Emily's hand gently. "Come on, we have class." They walked past Sumin together, and Emily felt the other girl's hatred burning into her back. As soon as they were in the hallway away from prying eyes, Hyun-Woo stopped. "You handled that well," he said. "She's really hurt, isn't she? Under all that anger." Hyun-Woo looked surprised. "You feel bad for her?" "A little. Hurt people hurt people. That doesn't make what she's doing okay, but I understand it." Something shifted in Hyun-Woo's expression. He looked at Emily like he was seeing her for the first time. "You're different from anyone I've ever met. Different good or different bad? Different amazing." The compliment made Emily's cheeks warm. She changed the subject quickly. "So girlfriend, huh? You committed to the role fast. Had to make it believable. Speaking of which, we should probably do couple things. Eat lunch together, walk to classes. Maybe I should carry your books." "I can carry my own books." "I know you can, but boyfriends do that sort of thing here." Over the next 2 weeks, Emily and Hyun-Woo fell into a rhythm. Every morning, he waited for her at the school gates. They walked to classes together, his hand casually resting on her lower back. During lunch, they sat with Kenji and Aisha, laughing and talking like they'd been friends forever. The whole school watched their every move. Some students thought it was romantic. Others whispered that it wouldn't last, but no one dared bully Emily anymore. Being Hyun-Woo's girlfriend gave her an invisible shield. What Emily didn't expect was how much she enjoyed spending time with him. Hyun-Woo was smart and funny when he let his guard down. He told her stories about growing up with impossible expectations, about the pressure to be perfect every single day. She shared her own struggles about being different, about missing home, about feeling like she had to prove herself constantly. One afternoon, they were in an empty music room, and Hyun-Woo sat at the piano. His fingers moved across the keys, playing something beautiful and sad. "My mother chose this piece for me to learn when I was 7, he said softly. "She chooses everything. My classes, my schedule, my friends. She had my whole life planned before I could even talk." "That sounds exhausting." "It is." He stopped playing and looked at her. But with you, I feel like I can breathe. Even if this is fake, these moments feel more real than anything else in my life." Emily's heart squeezed. This was getting dangerous. She was supposed to keep her distance emotionally, but Hyun-Woo made that impossible. Every smile, every touch, every conversation pulled her deeper. "We should get back," she said, standing up quickly. "Don't want people to get suspicious about what we're doing alone." Something flickered in Hyun-Woo's eyes. Disappointment, maybe, but he nodded and followed her out. That weekend, Hyun-Woo picked Emily up for their first official public date. His driver brought him to her apartment in a car that probably cost more than her father's yearly salary. When she climbed in, Hyun-Woo's eyes widened. "You look beautiful," he said. Emily had worn a simple yellow dress that her mother insisted made her skin glow. She'd left her hair natural, big and curly and free. "Thank you. You look nice too." Nice was an understatement. Hyun-Woo wore dark jeans and a white button-up shirt that made him look like he stepped out of a magazine. He took her to a traditional Korean restaurant tucked away in a quiet neighborhood. They sat on floor cushions at a low table while servers brought dish after dish. Hyun-Woo taught her how to eat properly, laughing when she struggled with chopsticks. "Here," he said, reaching over to guide her fingers. "Hold them like this." His hand covered hers, warm and gentle. Their faces were close. Emily could see gold flecks in his dark eyes, could smell his cologne, something woodsy and clean. Her breath caught. "Hyun-Woo," she whispered. "Yeah? This feels real." "I know." Neither of them moved. The moment stretched, heavy with things unsaid. Then a server appeared with more food and they broke apart, both flustered. After dinner, they walked along the Han River. Lights from the city reflected on the dark water. Couples strolled past them, holding hands and taking photos. Without thinking, Hyun-Woo reached for Emily's hand and she let him take it. "Can I ask you something personal?" Emily said. "Anything." "Why did you really break up with Sumin? I know she cheated, but there seems like there's more to it." Hyun-Woo was quiet for a long moment. "She cheated because I wasn't giving her enough attention." That's what she said anyway. "But the truth is, I was never really in love with her. I dated her because our families expected it, because it looked good on paper. I cared about her, but I didn't love her, and she sensed that. That must have been hard." "It was a relief, actually. When she cheated, it gave me an excuse to end things I should have ended months before." He stopped walking and turned to face her. "I promised myself, after that, I'd never date someone unless it was real, unless I actually felt something. And yet, here we are, fake dating. Yeah, funny how that worked out." His thumb traced circles on the back of her hand, "except it doesn't feel fake anymore. Not to me." Emily's heart hammered. "Hyun-Woo, we agreed. No real feelings." "I know what we agreed, but I can't help how I feel." He stepped closer. "Tell me you don't feel it too. Tell me I'm imagining this connection. Between us." She couldn't tell him that, because it would be a lie. Every cell in her body was aware of him. Every nerve ending fired when he touched her. Every moment with him felt like coming home. "This is complicated," she said instead. "Life is complicated. Feelings are complicated. But this us is the simplest thing I've ever felt." He leaned down slowly, giving her time to pull away, but Emily didn't move. When his lips touched hers, it was nothing like their first kiss in the cafeteria. That was fury and defiance. This was soft and sweet and full of longing. His hand cupped her face gently. Her fingers gripped his shirt. The world disappeared until there was only them, only this. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Hyun-Woo rested his forehead against hers. "I don't want to pretend anymore," he whispered. "I want this to be real." "Me too," Emily admitted. They kissed again, deeper this time, and Emily felt herself falling into something she couldn't control. This story is getting more intense with every minute. Are you feeling the chemistry between Hyun-Woo and Emily? Let us know in the comments if you think they should risk everything for real love. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell because the drama is about to reach a whole new level. But happiness never lasts long when enemies are watching. Somin sat in her bedroom staring at photos of Hyun-Woo and Emily kissing by the river. Someone had posted them online and they'd gone viral. The comments were full of people calling them cute, saying they were relationship goals, celebrating their love. Somin threw her phone across the room. It hit the wall and cracked. She didn't care. Rage burned through her veins like poison. Her bedroom door opened, and her older brother Chol walked in. He was tall and dangerous looking, with cold eyes and a scar across his left eyebrow from a fight years ago. "I heard you screaming," he said casually. "Boy troubles again?" "That African girl stole Hyun-Woo from me. She's ruining everything. Everyone loves her now. They've forgotten that I'm supposed to be with him." Chol picked up the cracked phone and looked at the photos. "You want me to handle it?" "Can you?" "Little sister, I can handle anything, but you need to be smart about this. Going after her directly didn't work. She's got protection now, so we go after what she cares about, her family, her reputation. We make her life so miserable that she breaks up with him and runs back to Africa where she belongs." Sumin's eyes lit up. "What do you have in mind?" "Leave it to me. By the time I'm done, she'll wish she never came to Korea." The next week, strange things started happening. Emily's father was called into an emergency meeting at work where someone accused him of stealing company secrets. The accusation was baseless, but it started an investigation that made him stressed and worried. Her mother's university received anonymous complaints about her teaching methods. Nothing was proven, but the gossip spread. At school, rumors started circulating that Emily was only dating Hyun-Woo for his money. Someone created fake screenshots of texts where Emily supposedly bragged about using him. The screenshots looked real enough that some students believed them. Emily tried to ignore it all. She knew the texts were fake. She knew her parents had done nothing wrong, but the constant attacks wore her down. She started losing sleep, jumping at shadows, wondering what would come next. Hyun-Woo noticed immediately. "Talk to me. What's wrong?" They were in his car after school. He'd offered to drive her home every day now that they were officially together. "Nothing. I'm fine." "You're not fine. You barely ate lunch. You've been distracted all day, and you keep looking over your shoulder like someone's following you." Emily wanted to tell him everything, but she didn't want to burden him with her problems. This was her fight. "Just tired." She lied. Hyun-Woo pulled the car over and turned to face her. "We're together now. For real. That means we don't lie to each other. That means when something's wrong, you tell me so I can help." The concern in his eyes broke down her walls. Emily told him everything about her father's work troubles, her mother's complaints, the fake screenshots, the feeling that someone was orchestrating all of it. Hyun-Woo's jaw clenched. "Soo-min!" "You don't know that for sure." "Yes, I do. This is exactly her style, and probably her brother's too." He pulled out his phone and called Kenji. "I need you to dig into something for me. Find out if Chul has been making moves against Emily's family." While Kenji worked his tech magic, Hyun-Woo took Emily to his family's private library. The huge room was filled with books from floor to ceiling. A fireplace crackled in the corner. It felt safe and warm. "Stay here," Hyun-Woo said. "I'll make us some tea." Emily wandered through the shelves, trailing her fingers along leather spines. She found a photo album on one of the tables and flipped through it. Pictures of young Hyun-Woo at various ages, always looking serious, always perfect. Until one photo near the end, where he was laughing, caught mid-motion, completely unguarded and happy. "That was taken at my grandmother's house," Hyun-Woo said, returning with 2 steaming cups. "The only place where I was allowed to just be a kid." "You look so happy." "I was. She died 2 years ago." After that, life became all business all the time. They sat together on a leather couch. Rain started pattering against the windows. Thunder rumbled in the distance. The library felt like its own world, separate from all their problems. "I'm scared," Emily admitted quietly. "Not for me, but for my parents. They moved here for a better life. What if I'm ruining that for them?" "You're not ruining anything. Soo-min and Chol are the ones causing trouble, not you." Hyun-Woo set down his tea and took both her hands. "I promise I'll fix this. I'll talk to my father. He has connections. He can protect your dad's job and clear up those complaints about your mom." "Why would he do that for me?" "Because you make his son happy. And believe it or not, that matters to him." Emily looked down at their joined hands. When did this become so complicated? Probably when we stopped pretending and started feeling. She looked up at him. His face was so close, his eyes so warm. "I'm afraid." "Of what?" "Of how much I'm starting to care about you. What if this doesn't work out? What if your family really does hate me? What if the cultural differences become too much?" Hyun-Woo released one of her hands to cup her face. "Then we'll figure it out together. I'm not going anywhere, Emily. You're stuck with me." "Promise?" "I promise." He kissed her softly, then deeper. Emily melted into him, her hands sliding up to his shoulders, then into his hair. The kiss grew more urgent, more desperate. His hands moved to her waist, pulling her closer. She shifted to straddle his lap, and he groaned against her mouth. "Emily," he breathed, "we should stop." "Why?" "Because I don't want to rush this. You're important to me. This is important to me." His words made her chest ache in the best way. She rested her forehead against his, both of them breathing hard. "You're right," she whispered, "but for the record, I don't want to stop either." He laughed, the sound low and warm. "Noted." They spent the rest of the evening just talking and holding each other while rain hammered the windows. Emily felt safer than she had in days. With Hyun-Woo, she could face anything. But outside that warm library, Chul was making his final move. He'd gathered fake evidence that Emily's father was involved in corporate espionage. Documents that looked official but were completely fabricated. He'd gotten statements from paid witnesses. He'd built an entire case designed to destroy the man's career and reputation. The next morning, Chul visited Emily's apartment while she was at school. Her father answered the door, surprised to see a stranger. "Mr. Mongi," Chul said politely. "My name is Chul. I have some information you need to see regarding your daughter's relationship with Hyun-Woo Park." He spread photos across the kitchen table. Pictures of Emily and Hyun-Woo kissing, walking together, holding hands, laughing. But also photos of Hyun-Woo's family business dealings. Photos that suggested criminal activity that didn't actually exist. "The Park family is involved in some dangerous business," Chul lied smoothly. "Money laundering, corporate espionage, things that could ruin anyone associated with them, including you. Your daughter's relationship with their son puts your entire family at risk." Emily's father studied the fake documents. "This looks serious." "It is serious, very serious. If you're smart, you'll tell your daughter to end this relationship immediately. Before you all get caught in the crossfire. I appreciate the warning, but I'll need to verify this information." Chul's smile turned cold. "By all means, verify. But while you're doing that, I'll be releasing this information to the media, to your company, to anyone who will listen. Unless, of course, your daughter breaks up with Hyun-Woo publicly. Today, then this all goes away." After Chul left, Emily's father sat at the table for a long time staring at the documents. He wanted to protect his daughter, but he also didn't want to destroy the life they'd built in Korea. When Emily came home that afternoon, her father was waiting. "We need to talk," he said. His serious tone made her stomach drop. "What's wrong?" "I received some disturbing information today about Hyun-Woo's family, about their business practices." "Emily, I think you need to end this relationship." "What? No, Dad, what are you talking about?" He showed her the documents and photos, explained what Chul had said. With every word, Emily's heart sank deeper. She recognized this for what it was. A trap, a manipulation. But her father believed it was real. "Dad, this is fake. Someone is trying to break us up. These documents look very official. Because someone went to a lot of trouble to make them look that way. Hyun-Woo's family isn't involved in anything criminal. This is Sumin and her brother trying to destroy my relationship. Even if that's true, the threat is real. This man said he would ruin my reputation and my career unless you break up with Hyun-Woo today, publicly. So we call his bluff. Emily, I can't risk it. Your mother and I worked too hard to get here. We can't lose everything because of a teenage relationship." The words hit her like a slap. A teenage relationship. As if what she and Hyun-Woo had was trivial. As if her feelings didn't matter. "I love him," Emily said, her voice breaking. Her father's expression softened. "I know, sweetheart, but sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes we have to make hard choices to protect our families." Tears streamed down Emily's face. She knew her father was right in his own way. He was trying to protect them all. But the thought of losing Hyun-Woo felt like losing a part of herself. "Can I at least explain to him why?" she whispered. "No. It has to be a clean break. A public one. The man was very specific." That night, Emily barely slept. She wrote Hyun-Woo 100 messages but deleted them all. She wanted to warn him, to explain, to fight back. But she couldn't risk her family's livelihood. She couldn't be selfish. The next morning at school, she found Hyun-Woo waiting for her at their usual spot. His face lit up when he saw her, then immediately fell when he noticed her expression. "What happened?" "We need to talk. Somewhere private." He led her to an empty classroom, worry etched across his face. Emily's heart was breaking into a million pieces. "I can't do this anymore," she said, forcing her voice to stay steady. "Us, This relationship, it's over. Hyun-Woo stared at her like she'd spoken a foreign language. What are you talking about? Yesterday everything was fine. Better than fine. Yesterday I was confused, but I've had time to think, and this isn't working. We're too different. Different cultures, different worlds. I don't fit into your life. That's not true. Emily, what's really going on? Nothing's going on. I just don't want to be with you anymore. The hurt in his eyes was unbearable. Emily wanted to take it all back, to tell him the truth, to throw herself into his arms, but she couldn't. You're lying, Hyun-Woo said quietly. I know you. This isn't real. Believe what you want. We're done. She turned to leave, but he grabbed her wrist gently. Look at me and tell me you don't love me. Emily met his eyes, tears threatening to spill. She opened her mouth to lie, to save her family, to break both their hearts. But before she could speak, Kenji burst into the classroom. Don't say anything, Kenji shouted. I figured it out. I know what's happening. He pulled out his laptop and showed them evidence of Chul's manipulation. Bank transfers to paid witnesses, emails coordinating the fake documents, proof that the entire case against Emily's father was fabricated. Chul threatened your family, Kenji said to Emily. He's been behind everything, the rumors, the investigation, all of it. And I have evidence that proves it. Relief flooded through Emily so intensely she almost collapsed. Hyun-Woo caught her, holding her steady. Why didn't you tell me? He asked, hurt still evident in his voice. I was trying to protect my parents. I thought I didn't have a choice. You always have a choice, and the choice is us. Together. Always together. He kissed her hard, pouring all his fear and relief into it. Emily kissed him back, grateful beyond words. But their problems weren't over yet. They still had to expose Chul and Soo-min. They still had to clear her father's name. And they still had to face Hyun-Woo's mother, who was about to find out about their relationship in the worst possible way. Hyun-Woo held Emily close in that empty classroom while Kenji pulled up more evidence on his laptop. Every email, every bank transfer, every fake document Chul had created was right there in digital black and white. How did you find all this? Emily asked, wiping tears from her face. Kenji grinned. I'm a genius with computers. Plus, Chul isn't as smart as he thinks. He used his personal email for some of the coordination. Amateur mistake. We need to take this to the police, Hyun-Woo said, his jaw set with determination. Not yet, Kenji cautioned. If we go to the police now, Chul might destroy evidence or run. We need to get him to confess publicly. We need witnesses. How do we do that? Emily asked. Hyun-Woo's eyes darkened with an idea. The Spring Festival. It's this Saturday. The whole school will be there, plus parents and donors. It's the biggest event of the year. You want to expose them in front of everyone? Emily's stomach twisted with anxiety. It's the only way to make sure he can't wriggle out of it. If we do this privately, his family will cover it up. They have money and connections. But if it happens publicly, with witnesses and video, there's no escape. Kenji nodded enthusiastically. I can set up hidden cameras and microphones. We just need to get Chul to admit what he did. And how do we do that? Emily asked. Hyun-Woo looked at her with an expression that was both apologetic and determined. We use me as bait. If I threaten to expose his business dealings, he'll either pay me off or threaten me. Either way, he'll incriminate himself. That's dangerous, Emily protested. Chul isn't just a bully. Aisha said he's connected to dangerous people, which is exactly why we need to stop him now before he hurts anyone else. Hyun-Woo cupped her face gently. Trust me, I won't let anything happen to you or your family. The next few days were tense as they prepared their trap. Kenji worked on the technical setup while Hyun-Woo reached out to his father for help. To Emily's surprise, Mr. Park took the threat seriously. I've heard rumors about the Chul family for years, Hyun-Woo's father said during a meeting in his office, but they've always been careful. If you can get solid evidence, I'll make sure it reaches the right authorities. Emily had expected Hyun-Woo's father to be cold and intimidating like his mother, but he was actually warm and kind. He reminded her of her own dad. Thank you, sir, Emily said respectfully. Call me Mr. Park, and thank you for making my son happy. I haven't seen him smile this much in years. On Friday night, the evening before the festival, Hyun-Woo took Emily to a place he said was special to him. They drove for an hour outside the city until they reached a small beach house overlooking the ocean. This was my grandmother's house, Hyun-Woo explained as they walked through the cozy rooms. She left it to me when she died. It's the only place that feels truly mine. The house was simple but beautiful. Large windows faced the water. Comfortable furniture filled the rooms. Photos of Hyun-Woo and his grandmother covered the walls, showing moments of genuine happiness. "Why did you bring me here?" Emily asked softly. "Because tomorrow might go wrong. Chul might not confess. The plan might fail. And if that happens, I want you to know that tonight was real, that this place, this moment, is real." They stood on the deck, watching waves crash against the shore. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink and purple. Hyun-Woo wrapped his arms around Emily from behind, and she leaned back against his chest. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Me too. What if your mother never accepts me? What if the cultural differences are too much? What if we can't make this work?" Hyun-Woo turned her around to face him. "Then we'll figure it out, one day at a time, one problem at a time. But we do it together." "Together," Emily repeated. He kissed her slowly, deeply, like he was memorizing the taste of her lips. His hand slid into her hair. Her fingers gripped his shirt. The kiss grew more urgent, more desperate, filled with all the uncertainty of tomorrow. "Stay with me tonight," Hyun-Woo whispered against her mouth. "Just stay." Emily knew what he was asking. Not just to stay at the beach house, but to stay with him in every way, to trust him completely, to give him all of her. "Are you sure?" she asked. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life." They went inside, and Hyun-Woo led her upstairs to a bedroom with large windows overlooking the ocean. Moonlight streamed through the glass, bathing everything in silver light. He kissed her again, softer this time, taking his time. His hands were gentle as they traced the curve of her waist, the line of her spine. Emily's heart raced, but she wasn't afraid. With Hyun-Woo, she felt safe, cherished, loved. "You're shaking," he murmured. "Good shaking," she assured him. He smiled against her lips. "We can stop anytime. Just say the word." "I don't want to stop." What happened next was tender and sweet and absolutely perfect. Hyun-Woo treated her like she was precious, like she was the most important thing in his world. He whispered how beautiful she was, how much he loved her, how lucky he felt to have found her. Emily had never felt more connected to another person. Every touch, every kiss, every whispered word bound them closer together. When they finally came together completely, it felt like coming home. Afterwards, they lay tangled in each other's arms, listening to waves crash outside. "I love you," Hyun-Woo said quietly. "I know it's fast and maybe it's crazy, but I love you, Emily." Tears pricked her eyes. "I love you too, so much it scares me." "Don't be scared. We have each other. That's all that matters." They fell asleep wrapped in each other, and for a few hours, the world and its problems didn't exist. The next morning, reality came crashing back. Today was the spring festival. Today, they would face Chul and Sumin. Today, everything would change. Emily wore a traditional Korean hanbok that Hyun-Woo's grandmother had left behind. It was deep blue with silver embroidery, and when Hyun-Woo saw her in it, his eyes went wide. "You look like you belong here," he said, "like you've always belonged." The festival was already in full swing when they arrived. The school grounds had been transformed into a celebration of Korean culture. Food stalls sold tteokbokki and hotteok. Students performed traditional dances on a stage. Families wandered around enjoying the warm spring day. Kenji met them near the main pavilion, his laptop tucked under his arm. Everything set up. Cameras are hidden in 6 different locations. Audio is crystal clear whenever you're ready. Hyun-Woo had sent Chul a message that morning asking to meet privately to discuss a business proposition. Chul had agreed, probably thinking he could intimidate or bribe Hyun-Woo into leaving Emily. They waited near the traditional garden at the back of the school. This area was quieter, away from the main festivities. Perfect for a private conversation that would actually be recorded from every angle. Chul arrived exactly on time, looking smug and confident in an expensive suit. Soo-min was with him, wearing a designer dress and a triumphant smile. "Hyun-Woo," Chul said smoothly, "I'm glad you finally came to your senses. Ready to discuss ending this embarrassing relationship?" "Actually, I wanted to discuss your attempts to blackmail and threaten my girlfriend's family." Chul's smile didn't waver. "I have no idea what you're talking about." "Really? So you didn't create fake documents accusing her father of corporate espionage? You didn't pay witnesses to lie? You didn't threaten to destroy their reputation unless Emily broke up with me? Be careful making accusations you can't prove, Chul said, his voice turning cold. Sumin stepped forward. Hyun-Woo, please, just end this ridiculous relationship. She's not one of us. She'll never fit into our world. I'm willing to take you back. We can forget this whole thing happened. I don't want you back, Sumin. I never did. What we had was fake. What I have with Emily is real. Real? Sumin laughed bitterly. You barely know her. She's using you for your money and status. Actually, she's the only person who's ever seen me as just me. Not my family name or my money. Just me. Chul's patience was wearing thin. Enough of this. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to break up with the African girl publicly today in front of everyone, or I'll release information that will destroy her father's career and your family's reputation. What information? Hyun-Woo asked calmly. I have evidence that your father's company has been involved in illegal dealings for years. Tax evasion, bribery, things that would send him to prison. You mean the fake evidence you manufactured? Just like you manufactured evidence against Emily's father? Chul's eyes narrowed. You can't prove that. Actually, I can. Kenji stepped out from behind a nearby tree, holding his laptop. I have every email you sent, every bank transfer you made, every lie you told, all of it. For the first time, Chul looked uncertain. That's impossible. You used your personal email address for half the communications. Did you really think you were untraceable? Kenji's grin was victorious. Sumin grabbed her brother's arm. What is he talking about? What did you do? I did what you asked me to do. I tried to break them up. By committing crimes? By threatening people? Chul, you idiot. The siblings started arguing while Hyun-Woo signaled to Kenji. Within seconds, security guards appeared along with Hyun-Woo's father and several police officers. Park Chul. One officer said formally, you're under arrest for blackmail, fraud, and criminal threats. Chul tried to run, but security grabbed him. Sumin burst into tears, her perfect makeup running down her face. Wait, she sobbed. I didn't know he would go this far. I just wanted Hyun-Woo back. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Emily stepped forward and everyone expected her to gloat or celebrate. Instead, she said quietly, I know you didn't. You were hurt and angry and you made bad choices, but you can still make better ones now. Sumin stared at her with tear-filled eyes. Why are you being nice to me? I was horrible to you. Because holding on to anger only hurts me, not you. I hope someday you find someone who loves you the way Hyun-Woo loves me. Real love, not the fake kind we pretend to have. Something shifted in Sumin's expression. Regret, maybe, or understanding. She looked at Hyun-Woo one last time. I'm sorry for everything. Then she walked away, following the police who were taking her brother. Students had started gathering, phones out, recording everything. The video would be viral by evening. Hyun-Woo pulled Emily close. It's over. You're safe. Your family's safe. But they weren't quite done yet. Hyun-Woo's mother appeared, pushing through the crowd. She was elegant and cold, everything Emily had feared. Hyun-Woo, we need to talk. Now. They followed her to a private room inside the school. Hyun-Woo kept Emily's hand firmly in his, showing his mother that they were united. I know about your relationship, Mrs. Park said icily. And I know about the scene that just played out. Half the school is talking about it. Good, Hyun-Woo said. Then you know that I love Emily and I'm not giving her up. She's not suitable. She's not Korean. She doesn't understand our culture or our expectations. I understand enough, Emily said, finding her courage. I understand that you want what's best for your son. I understand that you've worked hard to build your family's reputation. I understand that I'm not what you imagine for him. Mrs. Park looked surprised that Emily was speaking. But I also love your son, Emily continued. I love how smart he is, how kind he is when he lets his guard down. I love that he plays piano when he's stressed and that he dreams about being an architect even though he's expected to run the family business. I love him for who he is, not what he represents. And I promise to spend every day proving that I'm worthy of him. The room was silent. Mrs. Park studied Emily for a long moment. You really love him, she finally said. It wasn't a question. With all my heart. Mrs. Park turned to her son. And you love her? More than anything. She sighed and some of the coldness left her face. Your father has been telling me for months that I'm too controlling, that I need to let you make your own choices. I didn't want to listen because I was afraid. Afraid you'd make mistakes, afraid you'd get hurt, afraid you'd choose wrong. I chose right, Mom. I promise. Mrs. Park looked at Emily again. If you hurt my son, if you break his heart, there will be consequences. If I hurt him, I'll deserve whatever consequences come, but I won't hurt him. Not if I can help it. Another long silence. Then incredibly, Mrs. Park smiled just a little. You're braver than I gave you credit for. Standing up to me like that. Most people are too intimidated. I learned from the best, Emily said, squeezing Hyun-Woo's hand. Mrs. Park nodded slowly. Very well. You have my conditional approval. Conditional meaning I'll be watching closely, but I won't stand in your way. It wasn't a warm welcome, but it was a start. Hyun-Woo hugged his mother, surprising her. Thank you, he said quietly. They returned to the festival, and this time when they walked through the crowds holding hands, it felt different. Lighter, free. Students stared, but now it was with curiosity and respect rather than judgment. Aisha ran up and hugged Emily. You did it! Everyone's talking about how you stood up to Chol and defended yourself. You're like a hero now. I'm not a hero. I just wanted to protect my family. That's what makes you a hero, Aisha insisted. The rest of the festival passed in a blur of celebration. Emily's parents arrived after Hyun-Woo's father had explained everything. Her mother hugged her tightly while her father shook Hyun-Woo's hand. Thank you for protecting my daughter, her father said. Actually, she protected herself. I just stood beside her. As evening fell, fireworks exploded over the school. Hyun-Woo and Emily stood together watching colors paint the sky. What happens now? Emily asked. Now we live our lives. We finish school, we go to university, we figure out the future together. Your mother is going to be watching us constantly. Let her watch. She'll see that we're good together, that we make each other better. Emily leaned against him. I can't believe how much has changed since that first day when I kissed you in the cafeteria. Best decision you ever made. Second best, she corrected. The best decision was saying I love you last night. He turned her to face him, his hands on her waist. Say it again. I love you, Hyun-Woo Park. I love you, Emily Mwangi. They kissed as fireworks burst overhead, and it felt like the beginning of everything rather than the end. 3 years passed. Emily and Hyun-Woo graduated from Hanseong Elite Academy with top honors. She studied international business at Seoul National University while he pursued architecture like he'd always dreamed. His mother eventually warmed up to Emily after seeing how happy and successful her son was. She even started learning Swahili to communicate better with Emily's parents. Soo Min transferred to a school in London and was getting therapy to work through her issues. She sent Emily a message on graduation day apologizing again and thanking her for showing kindness when she didn't deserve it. Chul served time in prison for his crimes and family's reputation was destroyed. Kenji became a celebrated tech entrepreneur, always joking that he should charge Hyun-Woo and Emily royalties for playing Cupid. On the day of Emily's university graduation, the auditorium was packed with families and friends. She walked across the stage to receive her degree, and when she looked out into the audience, she saw everyone she loved cheering for her, her parents beaming with pride. Aisha, whistling loudly, Hyun-Woo's family, including his mother who was actually smiling. But mostly she saw Hyun-Woo standing in the front row, looking at her like she was the only person in the world. After the ceremony, he took her hand and led her outside to the university gardens. Cherry blossoms were falling like snow, covering the ground in pink petals. I have something to ask you, Hyun-Woo said, and Emily's heart started racing. What is it? He got down on one knee, pulling out a small velvet box. Inside was a ring that somehow perfectly blended Korean and Kenyan design elements. Gold with intricate patterns inspired by both cultures. Emily Mwangi, you walked into my life 3 years ago and changed everything. You taught me to be brave. You taught me that love is about choosing each other every day, not about meeting someone else's expectations. You taught me that home isn't a place, it's a person. Tears streamed down Emily's face. You are my home, Hyun-Woo continued. You are my best friend, my partner, my everything. And I want to spend the rest of my life proving that I'm worthy of you. Will you marry me? Yes, Emily sobbed. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. He slipped the ring on her finger and stood, pulling her into a kiss. Their families rushed out, cheering and crying. Cameras flashed. Cherry blossoms swirled around them like a blessing. Emily's mother hugged them both. My baby is getting married. To a good man, Emily's father added, shaking Hyun-Woo's hand. Take care of her. With my life, Hyun-Woo promised. Even Mrs. Park looked genuinely happy. Welcome to the family, Emily. Officially. The celebration continued into the evening. Friends and family gathered at a traditional Korean restaurant that Hyun-Woo had rented out. Stories were shared, toasts were made, laughter filled the air. Later, when things quieted down, Emily and Hyun-Woo snuck away to the rooftop. Seoul spread out before them, millions of lights twinkling in the darkness. "Remember when you kissed me that first day?" Hyun-Woo asked. "How could I forget?" "It was the craziest thing I'd ever done." "It was the best thing that ever happened to me. You stormed into my carefully controlled life and turned everything upside down in the most beautiful way." Emily rested her head on his shoulder. Who would have thought that one kiss would lead to all this? "I knew," Hyun-Woo said softly. "The moment your lips touched mine, I knew my life would never be the same. I just didn't know how right that feeling would turn out to be." "So, what happens now?" Emily asked the same question she'd asked years ago. "Now we plan a wedding that combines both our cultures. Now we travel to Kenya so I can see where you grew up. Now we build a life together that honors both our backgrounds. Now we show the world that love doesn't care about borders or differences." "Now we live happily ever after?" "No," Hyun-Woo corrected gently. "Happily ever after suggests an ending. This is just our beginning. We'll have challenges, we'll have arguments, we'll have hard days, but we'll face them together." "Together," Emily agreed. They kissed under the stars, two people from different worlds who found each other and chose each other and kept choosing each other every single day. 6 months later, they got married in a ceremony that perfectly blended Korean and Kenyan traditions. Emily wore both a white wedding dress and a traditional hanbok. The ceremony included both Christian prayers and Korean customs. The reception featured food from both cultures and music that made everyone dance. Hyun-Woo's father gave a speech about how love knows no boundaries. Emily's mother cried happy tears throughout the entire day. Even Mrs. Park admitted it was the most beautiful wedding she'd ever attended. As the night ended and guests began leaving, Hyun-Woo and Emily stood together looking at everything they'd built. A love that crossed continents, a family that embraced differences, a future full of infinite possibilities. "Ready to start forever?" Hyun-Woo asked. "With you, I'm ready for anything." They drove away toward their honeymoon in Kenya, where Hyun-Woo would meet Emily's extended family and learn more about her culture. Then they'd return to Korea to start their life together. He'd opened his own architecture firm focusing on sustainable design. She'd gotten a job with an international company promoting trade between African and Asian countries. Their story started with an unexpected kiss in a school cafeteria. It grew through challenges and obstacles and people trying to tear them apart. But it survived because they chose each other, because they believed that love was worth fighting for, because they understood that the best relationships aren't the easy ones. They're the ones where two people decide to work through everything together, and that's exactly what they did. Not just on their wedding day, not just during their honeymoon, but every single day for the rest of their lives. They chose each other. They chose love. They chose to build something beautiful together, because sometimes the most unexpected moments lead to the most incredible journeys. Sometimes a bold kiss from a brave girl to a lonely boy changes everything. Sometimes love really does conquer all, and they lived not happily ever after, but happily ever after, beginning again each morning, writing new chapters of their story with every sunrise. And that's the end of our incredible love story. Thank you so much for joining us on this emotional journey. If you love this story, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our next amazing tale. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from and whether you believed in Emily and Hyun-Woo's love from the beginning. We love hearing from you.